Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's wild though that they're friends or allegedly friends. They've been working together for how long? Um,
Yeah,
and that
that
just
is
kind of like
true,
blows up
but
in the face.
we're
Yeah.
talking about it's a lot of money, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's just about the money. If it was about the money, I'm sure they could have negotiated agreements, or Steven Crowder could have said, "Oh, well, I actually want the rights or whatever." I think all that, everything in the contract was negotiable. I think that the intentionality was on Crowder to torpedo the relationship.
Yeah, I agree. When I say a lot of
Yeah.
money, I mean like not just money, but like it's money, it's empire, it's reputation, it's vying for like future leadership position in like Republican Party, like pundit media, like all of this is on the line. Friendships are not gonna
I
fucking carry you through these types of things. Like there's gonna be people like that are really ambitious that are pushing for crazy shit here. I think.
Yeah, but I think that it comes down to the people, not exactly the, you know what, we can still be friendly even if it's not going to work out, even if you have these other ambitions. I think Crowder intentionally torpedoed his friendships to push himself further along because I think they could have just done nothing in the background and Crowder still could have done whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think he intentionally used burned that bridge because he didn't consider them friends enough, I
No,
guess.
well, I think it's because he has ambitions to like try to like he wants to be a competitor to them, a big competitor, and he wants to fight with them.
Sure.
I think he wanted to. I think that torpedoing was intentional, and he gets a whole huge boost in all of his email lists and all that shit initially. If I had to guess, I'm guessing the Blaze isn't going to hand any of that shit over to him. They probably own it all because he probably got contract fucked with them initially because he wasn't as big when he signed up. Maybe. But now this is a way for him to get all of his emailers and everybody back on a list, right? He probably can't get it from the Blaze, but now he starts his own movement. He's going to leave the Blaze, and now he's found a way to funnel all of his prior subs and hopefully some new ones into his new email list that he's going to use for the new media site that he starts. So it works out really well for him.
I don't know if the email list is the most valuable portion of his brand. I agree that it's important, but I think it's
Well,
more
it's
so the ideological juxtaposition. Like, I still feel like he could have got just as big of an email list without going through the
I don't know,
get
man.
fucked
I
retard
think those email lists are
thing.
pretty valuable when you're getting like lists of people that are
Yeah,
specifically
they're
signed
extremely
up.
valuable,
Yeah.
but I think he could have generated a same size list if he is the last few times he was like, "Hey guys, I'm transitioning over." I still think he could have gotten a similar size email list. I think the value in whatever, like I still think if he was still aligned, he'd still be able to show up on the Blaze and whatever and be like, "Oh hey, by the way, I'm Steven Crowder, join my mug club," whatever. I still think he would have been able to get the
No
same size list
shot. Do
and
you
have the
really
same
think so
access.
though?
Oh yeah,
Like, let's say
absolutely. I
you
think
leave. Let's say
so. I
I've
mean,
got
you
you
let
under
me come on your
contract.
show all the time, right? If I was like, "Oh hey, go to ragepope.com and give me your whatever," as long as we're still friends and I'm still generating content from you, I can
No,
still
wait, wait.
monetize all your
But there's a
viewers.
big difference. I don't get your subs anymore, right? Imagine if you
Well,
were.
but you're not getting my subs anymore. So
No, wait, but
the
real
difference.
quick, just think about this. Imagine you're employed by me, Rage Pope, and you're telling people like, yeah, sign up for the Rage Club, blah 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 blah. But I'm
Yeah,
monetizing all of that, and I like pay you a kind of or fee or whatever. Let's say that we
sure.
go separate ways. You want to leave the DGG orbit sphere, that's fine, and you're going to be your
Yep.
own guy. If we start making content together, and now you've taken away like fucking 200,000 subs from me, oof. But whatever, okay, you go, you do your own thing. Now you come and make content with me, and now you're also saying like, hey guys, remember, sign up for the Rage Club. Do I really want you promoting like your subs now that aren't part of my network on your own thing? I mean, maybe if
Well,
we're
but I mean,
friendly, but
people.
like, damn, when like tens of millions of dollars are involved,
Yeah,
oof.
but when people go, they go on Fox News and CNN all the time. They're like, "Hey, oh hey, by the way, buy my new book, whatever." Right? That happens all the time, and it's accepted because it's still part of a friendly business transaction where I can go to your audience and I can get exposure because I'm giving something of relatively equal value back to you, and I'm still able to monetize your network by providing you content. But by
I half agree, but I think there's a difference
mm,
from like mainstream media to alternative media, where I think that subscription models have been a thing they've been pushing for a really long time, and those subscription models are really important. I think that's why Daily Wire has that initiative to create unique content to sell, because anytime I've seen so many of these ads for that "What Is a Woman" documentary, they're always like that was free as long as you signed up for the Daily Wire's monthly subscription thing. So if that's what people
correct.
are competing on, why the fuck would I ever push
Ooh, but
non-endemic talent on my platform? Why would I invite Rage Pope here to do like promote the Rage Club when I could get in-house endemic talent to promote our own subscription model? Like, I don't ever want you competing with my product, right?
well, all right. So this is like super complicated, but I would say that generally, when you're bringing people on, you're having some sort of conversation that's monetizable, right? You're able to go create a YouTube and whatever. And because I may be parallel or similar to you, I'm not in a direct competition. And I don't think for the subscription models, you're exactly in a direct competition that
I think it is.
you
I think when you're
otherwise would
talking about like the Daily Wire and the Blaze, my guess is these two are directly competing with each other. And you know for a fact that Steven Crowder's Mug Club is going to compete with the Blaze because he's literally parting from that platform, right?
Sure, but I guess the question is whether an explicit direct competition is better than an implicit direct competition, because the question is how many people are going to overlap between subscribing to both versus like you have to choose one or the other, and where is the value? And I think that
I bet
for
most people
like,
subscribe to only one. You're probably part of a certain media sphere. Like you're like a Daily Wire fan, or you're like a Mug Club Steven Crowder fan. But like you said, ideologically they are a bit different. Like Ben Shapiro, I think is unironically compared to where the media landscape is today. I think Ben Shapiro is a pretty solidly center right kind of guy, whereas I think Crowder veers off a lot more into that populist kind of Trump fan territory. So I think these are competing subscriptions, like competing ideologies against each other. I don't think there's a lot. There's probably a bit of overlap between fans, but I bet it's starting to grow larger apart. Like I think if you're a really loyal fan to like Ben Shapiro or to Steven Crowder, you're probably starting to get increasingly pissed off at the other's views, right? Whether it's the Crowder and like the anti-Semitic stuff, maybe a little bit for like Ben Shapiro who's Jewish, or whether you're like a Ben Shapiro fan who's like, you know, Shapiro was initially on the wall about Trump, he kind of came over and now he's like kind of whatever again, like, and you're like, yeah, and Crowder's like a big Trump fan, like I don't like that shit as much, like, especially, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that market research in front of me to say one way or the other, but I guess my default assumption would be that there's more money to be made in taking some from the other versus in direct competition, but I could be entirely wrong on that, and I don't have any data.
Well, yeah, your goal, rather than trying to cannibalize another person's subscriber base, you're always trying to expand, But like in cases where there's like direct competition, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the weird thing with political alignments is it's very hard to see when brands are either direct substitutes where like you can either buy Walmart bread or you can buy whatever the top tier brand of bread is, or if you're going to just buy both brands because they're both pretty palatable to you and they're able to buy both. I don't know what that overlap is and what that looks like. And then what the impact of like directly saying that like this other brand sucks ass instead of my brand's way better is. And I think they would know that more directly. And I think Crowder thinks it's going to be more profitable to say like not only are the liberals evil, but also these big conservatives, these big 90s 2000s style
the neocons,
are
which is I think what Shapiro is like increasingly angled towards, especially as they get into disagreements over like Jewish people and like Israel and all this kind of weird shit, where your neocons are still like lockstep, like we're like Israel supporters and we're not like on board with any anti-Semitic stuff at all, and they're kind of like starting to veer away from the election conspiracy stuff, but other people still want to lean like really hard into it. I think it's like a difference.
Yeah, and I think I saw Nick Fuentes' stream for the first like 10 minutes, and they also had like a unique name for the neocons. It was like Con Inc. Instead of like Big Con. So I think that Crowder is also like differentiating himself from like the America First Groyper people. So
damn, imagine if Crowder picked up Fuentes.
They're not going to. I think intentionally distance himself, because I think even Crowder is extreme enough to accept the actually we hate Jewish people and the big conservatives are actually Jewish as well that Fuentes was pushing. So yeah.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.